Hello everyone, welcome back to Streed's Guide to Fraggle Rock. And today I'm reviewing Season 2, Episode 12, The Doozer Contest. This episode starts out with Doc marveling at the majesty of an ant farm. A new dog seems to have moved in nearby, and Sprocket's not keen to him. He explains to Doc that he's jealous that Schimmelfinny gave the new dog a bone and not him. We cut to Fraggle Rock, and the Fraggles are out and about, searching for something. Meanwhile, the Doozers have been using experimental materials for their constructions. Flange is using tomato extract, and Modem, the mother of Wrench, is using mustard powder. The Fraggles arrive, and they're lured by these exquisite towers. The Doozers celebrate them eating the towers, and the Fraggles seem to enjoy them as well. While this occurs, Flange and Modem begin complimenting each other, and the Fraggles start debating on which tower tastes better.
Oh, so you like the mustard the most, eh, Wembley?
Did I say that?
But I thought you liked the tomatoes.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
I like the mustard best. Oh, so do I. Booby, you're right about the mustard.
Well, I just have a sensitive palate.
Then it's unanimous. The mustard makes the meal. Hey, look at these towers over here. Come on.
After hearing the Fraggles declare the mustard tower superior, Modem begins believing in it herself, while Flange tries to imply that his tomato towers were just as necessary. Some time passes and the Doozer's work is over, but Flange and Modem keep arguing all the way back to the Doozer Dome. Flange arrives home and his wife Wingnut tells Cotterpin what taking credit is, a taboo concept in the world of Doozers. Flange is getting increasingly furious with Modem taking credit, and Wingnut advises that he just drop the whole damn thing and apologize to Modem. Unfortunately, the two insist on arguing all night and wake up half the Doozer Dome in the process. In the morning, Flange and Modem are both in an ornery mood when Flange does something drastic.
Clarification, please?
I have hurled the helmet! The ancient contest of the Doozers, tower building at 20 paces.
Look, Flange, can't we just talk about this?
Negative response, please.
We return to the Doozer Dome, and Flange is practicing for the ancient contest, and the architect is deeply disappointed by this, warning that such frivolous contests will only result in misery. Back in the workshop, Sprocket's got the irrits and plans to fight the new dog for supremacy, and Doc says if he's gonna fight, it must be fair, and gifts him his boxing gloves given to him by his late father. Back in the Rock, Cotterpin and Wrench remark on how moronic the contest is.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing this contest is tomorrow.
Yep. Things can get back to normal once my mom wins.
What?
Huh?
Afterwards, Flange is beginning to get cold feet regarding the upcoming contest. Some time passes, and Flange discovers the horrible news that his daughter Cotterpin has been in a fight with Wrench over taking different sides. This horrifies Flange, and he plans to visit Modem in order to cancel the contest. However, his intrusive thoughts begin to take hold of his better judgment.
Wait a minute. What if she doesn't want to call off the contest? I look like I thought I was going to lose. But that's not fair. I challenged her, so I should be able to withdraw the challenge. I will look foolish. She'll probably just laugh at me. If that happened, I won't be able to get any Doozers to work with me again. Modem will think I'm a fool.
Oh, Modem! Modem, get out here!
Yes, who is it?
Who are you calling a fool? Ugh.
It's scenes like this that make me compare Flange to Randy Marsh. At least in this episode, Flange seems to take things way too far, much like Randy, but not in the same humorous manner. Think of an annoying, well overstayed Integrity Farms Randy. Fucking hate that plot line. It's also worth mentioning that Flange never really acts this way in any other episode. He wasn't exactly given what I'd call characterization beyond being Cotterpin's dad and a relatively decent worker, but he's never behaved this neurotically. Afterwards, the contest begins, and the architect wishes that this will be the last conflict to ever darken the Doozer Dome. Meanwhile, the Fraggles are having a picnic, and Gobo reads a postcard from his uncle traveling Matt. Matt finds a towering building and confuses it for the biggest Doozer construction in the world, and intends to taste it and claim it for the sake of Fragglekind. Afterwards, the Doozers are left without a proper judge to determine which tower is superior, which leaves me to wonder, if this contest has been attempted previously, how did they judge which tower was better than the other one? Well, whatever the case, the Fraggles stumble across the dividing towers and give them a try.
Oh, these Doozer sticks are awful. They're mushy like tomatoes.
These are even worse. They're nothing but mustard.
I don't believe it. Our picnic is ruined.
Not quite. I still have my radish pate.
The Doozers are shocked by the Fraggles' lack of enthusiasm, and they propose to tinker with their extracts and try again. Back in the workshop, Sprocket practices for the big fight, and Doc attempts to talk him out of it. We return to Fraggle Rock, and the tensions are rising, with the Doozers running out of building material and space. Suddenly, Wembley comes along, and they proclaim him as the judge. The warring sides gear up, sing, and Wembley makes his decision.
Now, which will it be, the red or the yellow?
Oh.
Time to choose.
Well, I don't know. Hey, wait a minute. They taste great when you taste them both together.
Together?
Afterwards, Flange and Modem learn their lesson, make up, and compliment each other equally for their work, thanking Wembley for opening their eyes. We return to the workshop, and Sprocket has decided not to fight.
The new dog. And he gave you the bone. Oh, you've made friends, Sprocket. You won. You won more than you know.
Snore pie with yawn sauce. This was my second least favorite episode of Fraggle Rock. Like I mentioned in a previous review, this is the only episode I personally consider boring. Ironically, the Season 3 episode entitled Bored Stiff was less boring. Meandering, sure, but still simple, entertaining, harmless fun. Which I can't for the life of me say the same for this detritus waste of film. Central characters in this entry, Flange and Modem, are simply not interesting. They're underdeveloped and not captivating in the slightest. There's only one song in this episode, and it's pretty anodyne as well as forgettable. I can see what the message of this episode was trying to convey, that being give equal credit and work together in lieu of useless petty competition, but it's presented in such a generic and dull way that it drags the episode down tremendously. This is like one of those really cheesy, on-the-nose sitcom-esque episodes where the lesson is in plain sight, leading to the story feeling predictable, thus lowering the stakes. Even when I was a kid, I rarely rewatched this entry, and when I did, I always felt underwhelmed and bored. The only thing I find minutely fascinating about this episode is its hidden allegory for political division. Allow me to explain. Two groups of Doozers in two distinctly differently colored hats argue over which tower is better, an argument that gets so out of hand that it begins to affect the children, leading to a bunch of morons acting violently as a result of propagandic political programming. To me, this rings true of progressives constantly bickering with conservatives. I've always been an apolitical man, so I find it funny to watch liberals whinge about white people being Satan, and conservatives whinge about Jewish people controlling the world. This is only my interpretation, though, and it doesn't really save the episode from its travesties. If anything, it's only more disappointing to see such a fascinating concept wasted on such a tedious episode. Overall, I'm gonna give this one my second lowest mushroom. Well guys, that was the review, and I will see you all next year.